Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and this is going to be a quick video on a really nice plugin that gives you the distribution features that maybe Sketch should have by default. This is going to allow you to select some items and say distribute these layers, and then you're going to be able to specify the distance between these layers. Instead of just equally distributing them, it's going to equally distribute them at a given distance apart. So this could be really useful if you're designing some sort of a navigation. In that instance, you'd have nav items and you're going to want them to be a certain distance apart, and this is going to take care of that for you. So check it out. Let's get started right now. So here we have a site, and it's really similar to the one in the last video, but as you can see, I sort of messed up the order of these, and I got rid of the rest of these lines here. Let me zoom in so you can possibly see that a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Now what we want to do is distribute these evenly, right? When we select all these in first, let's click Align Left, and then let's click Distribute Vertically. So what's great is that they're all evenly placed, it's all vertical, but the amount at which it is, if we do Alt and then highlight over the next layer, we can see that it's 23 pixels. And that amount was sort of an arbitrary amount based on the distance between the first and the last. So to have this work, you have to have the first and the last item set up where you'd like, select, and then distribute. And then now they're distributed between those 2 points. However, that's not necessarily how we'd like distribute to work. So let's say you're doing this design and you already know you want the margin between these to be 20 pixels even. What we can do is use a plugin called Sketch Distributor, and Distributor is going to allow us to actually put in a value while it's distributing our layers. So let's come to the Sketch Toolbox. If you don't have Sketch Toolbox, just Google it and download it, it's the best. But I feel like at this point you should probably have it. So we can say distribute, so I'm going to just type in dist, and you'll see Distributor by Pez. So now if we click install, it's going to download and install this. Okay, so we've now have Sketch Distributor installed. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is select these 4 groups, and like I said, I want these to be distributed by 20 pixels in between each one. So we weren't able to define that with the previous method, but now we can come to Sketch Plugins and then Distributor, and select this, and we want to distribute these vertically, and we want to distribute it by 20 spacing. So let's go ahead and click OK. Now you'll notice they've come up together a little bit. Now with one of the layers selected, if I hold the Alt key while I hover over the next layer, you can see that it is in fact 20 pixels. So again, 20 pixels, 20 pixels, perfect. So now we can select all of these. Let's go ahead and align them over here with all this stuff. In fact, I'll just select all of this and hit Align Left. Now what we want is we want these lines to be distributed evenly between all of these different layers. Now because this line is 6 pixels away, I actually want it to be 10, so I'm going to bump this up 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold Alt, we can see it's now 10 pixels away. Now I'm going to go ahead and create 4 copies of this line just by having this layer selected, doing Command D, and we have 4, 5. So let's select all of these lines. Now let's come to Plugins, Sketch Distributor, Distributor. Now this value here came from some math that I'm not going to necessarily go over, but we want it to be 10 pixels distance between these two, and then we always want 10 pixels on top of each of these. So what it comes out to is 66 pixels of spacing. You can do that math on your own time, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And as you can see, we now have all 5 of these lines equally distributed, and as you can see, we can hold Alt. We can see that the line is 66 apart. It's 7 on the bottom and 10 on the top from every single one of these, like so. Perfect. So we've now distributed these, and if you notice that there's also the Sketch Distributor that allows you to distribute things vertically as well as horizontally, just as a checkbox when you're making that selection. Cool, so we've now shown you how to use Sketch Distributor to do some really cool even distributing where you have a lot more control over what's going on. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the video, hit us up at Twitter or Facebook at Level Up Tutorials. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.